welcome back to Monday Movie Hunting, the best way to start your week. I know what you're thinking, the board games are still there. That's because I'm keeping the ones there that we are playing through, kind of, and the coat's there again. But anyways, it's fine, it's fine. We're back. I like this location. I've decided I've adapted to it. I like it. Josh hates this location because it means that he can't move around downstairs super loud, whereas when I was upstairs, he can just kind of do whatever. Anyways, today is Monday Movie Hunting. I'm pretty excited for today because a movie that I've been really excited for comes out today. And I have picked up the movies, and to be honest, this is something that's interestingly that I haven't done in a while. I picked them up and then I was kind of like, after on the way home in the car, I was looking at them. I was like, well, I don't know if I was 100% on all of them necessarily, which I feel like is a weird thing. But anyway, we'll get to that. I've got some movies that I watched from last week to talk about. We've got a lot to talk about. So let's first of all go to the Sainsbury's clips, which is kind of a little bit at a distance and not great because there was some people looking at the films and I couldn't really, because they were like really taking a while. They were kind of like looking at the CDs as well and around there, so I just kind of filmed what I could. In Sainsbury's they also had this really cool new Harry Potter Lego set as well, which was Hagrid's hut. It was incredible. I really want it. I thought it was great. So I really want Hagrid's hut and I want the Hogwarts Express train. But like it was tricky because they're expensive, and obviously, as with all people, you can't just buy everything. Even though you guys probably think it seems like I just buy everything always because of all the films and stuff, but I do budget in films. So, you know, Lego sets aren't something that's necessarily budgeted, but maybe I'll have to like look into it more. But I saw it and I was just like, oh, I didn't film it, but it looks great. Anyways, let's go to Sainsbury's clip and then we can talk about movies. Let's go! Okay, we are back. Of course! It's How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. I mean, this just looks fantastic, and this is the 3D one with the Blu-ray and the digital copy, and the 3D one was the same price as normal Blu-ray. It's £15. I thought it was brilliant. I love that they seem to be doing that now. I got another one, The Grinch was, and I think another one too for like the same price. They aren't pricing up the 3Ds anymore, and I feel like this is the only Blu-ray version with the 3D. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I loved How to Train Your Dragon 2. Desperately looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon 3. It looks fantastic. I absolutely can't wait. So I'm hoping this is going to be kind of one of my favourites of the year. If not, maybe my favourite animation of the year, even though I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph 2 yet, and a lot of people like that. So I'm not sure. I feel like I've got another animation. I can't think. But yeah, super excited for this one. Now, the next ones are kind of an interesting batch. And I feel like not everybody did guess correctly this week, which is a little bit stressful. Because there was some other movies that came out and things like that. But the next one is Green Book, which was the Best Picture winner. It's inspired by a true story, and it has Viggo Mortensen in, who I really like. I loved him in Captain Fantastic. And obviously he is in Lord of the Rings. And yeah, I've heard mixed things about this, and I'm not sure why, but I feel like I will, I don't know if enjoy might be the wrong word. I feel like I will, well, I can't think of another word. I feel like I will enjoy this film and find it interesting. So I do like these type of films. So I am looking forward to watching this, and I feel like I haven't had a film maybe in this genre much this year, so that's nice to have picked this up. They did have it there on Blu-ray, and I looked at it, I was like, I almost picked it up on Blu-ray, but then it was £15 for Blu-ray, £10 for the DVD, so I am trying to be more cost effective, and I was there thinking about that Hagrid's hut that I'd seen earlier, so I was like, right, well, I'll get the DVD, and I've seemed to have picked up a massive amount of DVDs this year, because a lot of them they just don't have on Blu-ray, So I've kind of gone back to not being quite as bothered. Last year, I felt like I went through a more Blu-ray phase. Like I definitely, if it was there on Blu-ray, I more so wanted it on Blu-ray. The year before, I was like, oh, not bothered. If it's DVD, it's fine. This year, I've kind of gone back to, if it's a DVD, it's fine. But yeah, so Green Book, I am looking forward to. The next one, I can see you. The next one is A Private War. I feel like I should no, that's not gonna work. A Private War. This is Rosamund Pike in, who I love. It's also got Stanley Tucci in, who I love. And for some reason, this was the one I was like hesitant on. Once I picked it up, I was like, oh, did I want to pick this up? But yeah, I feel like, yeah, I do. It's got Rosamund Pike, who's brilliant. Stanley Tucci, who's brilliant. And it's based on a true story about a war journalist, or is she just a journalist? Is there such thing as a war journalist? Like, yeah. Oh, good, war journalist. Well, no, it just says she's a journalist, but whatever. Oh no, in a world where journalism is under attack, but she goes to war. I'm sure. Well, she goes like to look at the. She doesn't go to. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it very well. It looks brilliant. I saw a snippet of this trailer, and I was interested in it months ago. And I was like, yeah, I want to pick up that. It looks brilliant. And you know, I was kind of hesitant on the way back in the car. I was like, oh, should I pick this one up, or should I pick up a different one? This is definitely going to be the better film of the two that I was debating between. I mean, it's got fantastic reviews, and obviously the performance is going to be great. The story is going to be impactful and powerful. So I'm glad with my decision. Now that we've got back home, we're talking about it, I'm happy with the choice. Perfect. And the final one is one that I've been desperate for more films like this year. I feel like we're starting to get more. I could always have more films like this. Any kind of feel-good film, I will be happy to take more. And this is Instant Family. This looks great. I believe it's about Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne. Is that how you say her name? I do it wrong every time. I'll say it wrong every time. And I believe they adopt some children, and look, they've got a dog, and it's just a fun family film, and this is exactly the kind of thing that I really like. So yeah, perfect. I was always going to pick this one up. This one and How to Train Your Dragon, probably my most excited ones, ironically, as these two are obviously the more serious, like better films. Well, I take that back. How to Train Your Dragon, I think, is going to be fantastic as a film and an animated film anyway. All the How to Train Your Dragons I think are brilliant story-wise, animation. This one obviously is not a high quality film. It's just a feel-good film. These two, like, high quality films. Anyway, so those are the four that I picked up. Now, of course, Escape Room came out as well, and that was the one that, you know, Private War, Escape Room, Private War, Escape Room. I'm glad with the choice that I made. I wasn't originally going to pick up Escape Room. It was only when I got to the shop that I thought, But then no, I'm happy with what I did. I'm interested enough in Escape Room, but also I've not really looked into it massively. I was never massively excited about it. I don't know if I should have been. I'm not sure. I feel like what I'll do now is I'll look into it more, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I really wanted that. And then I'll feel bad for all the people who guessed Escape Room. I should have looked into it before the time, but I feel like I didn't want to add to the pile, because obviously last week we picked up 6. Now we've got 4 more. It's just getting a bit crazy, and we're watching them at a very slow pace, but we have picked up. So yeah, let's go to the spreadsheet and see who guessed these ones correctly. There was another film that came out today, and it had Judi Dench in, I think, and I hadn't even realised what it was, and I want to look into that as well. But I literally don't know anything about it. I'm going to have to watch back the video to find the picture of the film so I can see what it's called and what it is. And I thought there was another one as well, another film. I can't remember. Anyway, let's head to the spreadsheet, see who guessed correctly. Then we'll talk about the films that I watched this past week, which is a couple. Then we'll talk about next week. So let's go! Okay guys, so here is the spreadsheet for this week. It was a little bit crazy. Some people guessed correctly, some people didn't. And I guess sometimes that is just how it goes. Obviously, as I've said before, you do have to guess all of the movies correctly to get a point on the spreadsheet. So yeah, it's always a bit sad when there's a bit of a mix. But Alison guessed correctly and is now on 10. Mark guessed correctly and is now on 10. I couldn't find a comment from Ben, and I did try and have an extra look because the comment said there was this however many comments, and I couldn't count. Like, say it said like there was 19 comments. There wasn't actually 19 that I could see, so I am struggling a bit. So if I missed anybody's comment, you'll have to let me know because it's been really weird. We have previews. Australia guessed correctly this week, and then Gaz Movies also guessed correctly as well and is on 8. So we do have quite a few people still on a roll, but we do have some high like marks, you know, like Ben and Paul and things like that, and obviously some others that were still almost in the double digits and stuff that didn't guess correctly, so I do apologise, but hopefully you guys can get a roll back on. And also I want to thank everybody who mentioned like different films that are coming out this week as well. I've just had to read through them and look through them, and some of you did mention the one that I was talking about, so we're going to have a look into those actually as I'm editing this video as well, and just kind of have a look up some others, because a couple of you did mention other films that I hadn't even noticed or heard about as well, so definitely want to look into those. This past week was a little bit of a busier week, so I didn't necessarily look into them ahead of this Monday Movie Hunt. Sometimes I do, and then obviously I talk to you guys about it, but this week I was a little bit busier, so I'm a little bit behind, so I'm going to look into them now. So I just wanted to say thank you for all of those comments with the movie suggestions and let me know what's coming out. It's always really fantastic. But well done if you guessed correctly, and we'll head back to the other me, and I won't ramble on forever. Back to the other me. Well done if you guessed correctly. That is awesome. Now, speaking of awesome, I did watch the Lego Movie 2 and I loved it. It was great. I gave it 4.5 stars. I watched it again the day after. Literally watched it again the day after. It was so much fun. I think I like it better than the first one. I would watch it again today happily. I would definitely continue to watch it. And it definitely pushed me more towards wanting this Hagrid's Hut Lego thing. Anyway, this was great. It was fun. It had plot twists. The music was great. I mean, I say great. It's a film that if like I was speaking with friends, I wouldn't say, oh, I recommend watching this, because I feel like I'd recommend watching this and they would think that it was like kind of garbage. Like, it starts out as well, and it's kind of, especially if you would recommend it to someone, they'd be like, I'm not sure about this. But for me, it was everything that I wanted from this, and I loved it, and it was great. But yeah, so 4.5 stars for this one. Really enjoyed it. Super happy that I watched it. The next one that I watched was Can You Ever Forgive Me? It was different than what I thought it was going to be, but I enjoyed it. I thought Melissa McCarthy was brilliant in this, and this guy too, whose name Richard E. Grant. Yeah, it was different. I gave it 3.5. It wasn't super eventful or too interesting, but it was interesting enough. And I thought the acting was great, but the story was just kind of okay. But the acting kind of held it together and kept it interesting. And yeah, it was okay. It wasn't anything amazing, but I enjoyed it, and I had a relaxing, fine time watching it. Didn't get bored or anything. So the pacing was good. It just wasn't a super gripping story, but it was good. So I did enjoy that one. I gave it 3.5. And don't forget, last week I set myself a goal to watch 3 movies before this Monday, and I did it! Finally did it. The other one that I watched, so they're actually all 3 of them were from last week's pickups, which I said I might do, and it kind of really worked. So I'm going to try that again. Well, I'm just going to do, I don't know, whatever, this next week. But the other one that I watched was A Dog's Way Home, and I loved this. It was so cute. I kind of thought it was going to be just okay, which I suppose essentially it was, but I got really into it and I thought it was really cute. I gave it 4 stars. I would watch this one again happily, and I haven't rewatched A Dog's Purpose. I like A Dog's Purpose, and I feel like I'd like it more on a second watch, but I feel like I'd more jump to rewatch this than A Dog's Purpose at the moment. I am looking forward to A Dog's Journey, whatever it's called. This was cute, it was fun, and I liked it. It has some kind of questionable CGI, but it's a dog movie, and I feel like the poster's not even that, like, you know, it just is. It just is. So I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. So I'm really happy with what I watched this past week. I'm happy that it's 3 from the 6 that I picked up last week that I have now watched. Yeah, so I'm going to work my way through the rest. I hope to watch 3 more by next week. Maybe 2 from this section, even though I'm going to rewatch How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2 before this. So I'm not sure. I don't know whether that'll end up taking up more space because I'll be rewatching the How to Train Your Dragons. Who knows? And then there's some from last week that I still really want to work through my last week pile. I'm kind of into my last week pile at the moment. But so we'll just see what happens. We'll figure it out next week. But I will keep you guys updated. Let me know if you want me to keep telling you what I watched from the week before, or just the past week gone, and what I rated the films, because I think that maybe makes sense. This is Monday Movie Hunting, but it makes sense. I picked these up last week, I watched them, that's what I thought about them. Obviously, this is the order in which I liked them in, Lego Movie, Dog Movie, Can You Ever Forgive Me, which I feel like makes sense for me, especially at the moment. Like, I'm much more into anything that's kind of a bit more relaxing, hoping to get back into the kind of darker, deeper films, because last year I really enjoyed my dramas, and this year I've just, who knows, even though my favourite movie of the year is still Searching. So yeah, let me check what I'm picking up next week, and then we will go to that part of the video, and then that'll be the end. Okay, so I've just double checked, and I'm picking up 2 movies next week, so that's not too bad, but kind of I don't know, 2 isn't so bad. One of them, I feel like it's kind of obvious, one of them is more obscure, so I'm hoping you guys will get it. I'm going to have a look actually if there's anything else random coming out that you might be more likely to guess, because sometimes that happens and I'm like, oh, I forgot that was coming out, and if I could have warned you guys that it probably isn't that, then that helps. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh no, I feel like there really isn't many choices, so I feel like you're going to be okay. One movie is obvious, one movie that's kind of obscure, not as obvious. I feel like you'll get it, don't worry. You guys have got this. I'm still nervous to check who guessed correctly for this week. I actually 100% don't exactly know. I know that some people did guess correctly, but I don't know. I kind of saw it here and there. I saw people started to guess other things, and I was like, oh no. So, we will see. So I'm going to do the spreadsheet in a minute. I do it at the end of this. I do everything a weird way around. Monday Movie Hunting, Sainsbury's bit first, anything that's like this in the middle, spreadsheet last. That's how in the order that I actually film it. Anyway, I will let you guys head off, and let me know your 2 guesses down in the comments down below, and hopefully next week I'll be able to share with you 3 more mini movie reviews, as I did this week. We'll aim for 3 and see how we go. Maybe we'll even watch more, maybe not. But I did watch this one twice. So, nice. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoy Monday Movie Hunting, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!